Is ZBCN having its XRP moment? Let's find out.
What you're talking about, enabling financial freedom, enabling, people of all ages to be able to access finance earlier than they would have received it beforehand, thinking about like cross-border payments and all of those kind of things. It feels very, very similar to Ripple and XRP and what's going on there. But of course, there's a lot that's being built there in terms of a community and the infrastructure, but that feels like it's all very like, hey, we're building this now for tomorrow. Whereas what's going on here with Zebec is like, this is happening right now. Like, people are genuinely being able to use your tools, use your products, and access their finances. Like,
are you guys paying attention to what is being said here? This is from Hello Ben White. I know, the project has a profile picture of a Bored Ape Yacht Club NFT, and I know NFTs are, kind of like the bane of crypto's existence now. But this person has definitely been, a part of the space and has a long history, very successful trader in this space, and, has done very well for themselves. Speaking of how, ZBCN is in similar limelight, or, has this similar feel to, what XRP had before XRP really exploded, back when it did in 2018. Right, from 2045, which was XRP's price. ZBCN right now at 202. Similar, feel, similar structure here, and what XRP accomplished. ZBCN cross-border payments, not necessarily a competition to XRP, but more of a rival, right? A friendly rivalry happening here, or even partnerships, or even codependence or collaboration taking place here, that again a lot of people see from from the XRP community. They have, obviously they're bullish on XRP, holding their XRP, but they're definitely getting their toes wet, dipping some of their hands, even if it's just a bit, into the ZBCN ecosystem and the ZBCN project at large, because of what it's delivering with instant payments, remittances, cross-border payments, and obviously being ISO compliant as well. Being able, as the CEO said in the previous video that I made, where they're doing their best, not even trying to, they're doing their best and slowly accomplishing that, where they're disrupting traditional finance
in a very, very different way today.
This really goes back to our mindset as a company, and we are an execution first company, right? We do not make big promises to the market until we can prove that they work first. That's why our M&A strategy was under wraps for the past 2 years, because we wanted to make sure that we could integrate these clients and we could deliver before sharing with the market.
That's exactly what I'm speaking of right there. And you love founders that are very articulate as well, that could portray exactly what they're aiming to accomplish. ZBCN is definitely, again, in leagues, and has definitely the growth potential to be in the big leagues of XRP, XLM, etc. From what they've accomplished and what they're accomplishing. And the writing is clearly on the wall for this. Obviously nothing is guaranteed in the space, so this is why you never invest more than you're willing to lose, but it is possible here for ZBCN to pull something like this off, where it can make even a smaller, not obviously the full move like XRP did, but the potential is there for it to pull off, a very successful move, similar to veins of XRP and what that has done, or even Solana itself that it's built on, right? That is very possible here, as liquidity opens up in the market, as the Clarity Act passes, the Genius Act, new Fed chair, lower interest rates, more people, retail investors finally coming back to the crypto space, the liquidity floodgates finally being open. All of these things take time, and it's possible here for ZBCN to pull that off. Is ZBCN having an XRP moment? That's for you to decide. Thrilled to be mentioned alongside OGs like Ripple in the payment infrastructure game. We're inspired by the journey and the unstoppable XRP army, too focused on executing to hype it up. That's really another thing that I'm extremely bullish on here from ZBCN, is that they're not focused on hype. They're just focused on building and delivering a great product, great utility. Again, hundreds of millions in volume, from, you know, the users of the cards and their payment system, hundreds of clients, corporate clients as well, obviously, you know, so many users that are retail users of these cards as well, of their of the ZBCN ecosystem as well, is one of the better altcoins in my opinion to take a look at in this space, to have some exposure to add to your portfolio. I'm not telling anyone to ever, you know, to break the bank and overinvest, but it is one of the better altcoins in my opinion, right? Dive into more alpha on this and more from yesterday's Zebec uphold spaces. So they did an uphold spaces, you know, this was a little bit of time back, but again, very awesome stuff to see, right? This is from Future XRP, right? Another XRP holder, more than likely been in the space for a while, 5,000 followers, right? You probably don't care to know, but you probably don't care to know this, but here are my conviction plays for the next 5 years and price predictions by 2030. I only own the top 3, but I will eventually own them all, right? So XRP, he's looking for 4 digits for XRP, 3 digits for XDC, 2 digits for ZBCN, 3 digits for HBAR, 3 digits for XLM, right? The predictions of 2x or 10x by places like Standard Charter are not taken into account. The better price formula equals MV equal PQ. Chart analysis cannot account for global adoption and new financial systems, right? A lot of people, now this is the thing for me personally, I'm a more conservative person. You know, obviously you have to believe in things for, you know, your thesis to play out, and really truly believe that the crypto space is the new financial system. The banking system will be toppled and crypto is going to be the new way for people to bank. But you already seen it with stablecoin adoption. I don't think people are going to be using banks as much when stablecoins are so easy to use and so frictionless, right? You don't have to go like wait, like for example, if the bank is closed, you got to wait, right? People don't want to wait to send money back and forth and be able to handle their money and transact and move millions of dollars instantly or billions of dollars instantly, right? Only crypto could pull things like that off. So uprooting the traditional banking system, traditional finance, uprooting, you know, the previous oligarchs of this financial system and creating a new one and it being mass adopted is very possible here. So if you take that into account, of course, you could see projects do extremely well. XRP, XDC, ZBCN, XLM, HBAR, you know, those are the projects that, you know, could potentially do extremely well. Obviously nothing is guaranteed, but those are lining up for, like, you know, retail investors. Say what you want about, like, for example, XRP or even ZBCN, right? This cycle, after like this cycle, you see the strength of these projects, right? XRP made a move, right? 7 to 8x from the low. XDC made like a 5x, right? XLM made like a 4x or a 5-6x, same as XDC, right? HBAR made a move as well, right? The ecosystem had a little bit of a boom as well for HBAR. ZBCN made a move like a 9x, 8x from the low, right? From the exact low, if you caught that. And, you know, these are projects that actually are showing strength against the rest of the market, like I said, right? So you have to pay attention to that, in my opinion. This is from Tawny. Which token should I buy? Buy more of ZBCN, hodl for more than decades. Y'all thank me later. You thank me later. In 5 years, ZBCN would be at 56 cents to $1 because the adoption would skyrocket. What's your ZBCN price prediction in 5 years? Follow up for more updates, right? 5 years is a long time, and anything could happen in that 5 years, guys. But again, I think, like I said, I'm being conservative. I think 5 cents, 10 cents, maybe 30 cents per ZBCN is very possible. But make sure you guys take profits, right? You never go broke taking profits. You take your profits, you get something out, you know, secure that into USDC stablecoin or Bitcoin majors. It's up to you. You secure that, and then you leave in a percentage of your profits for the Valhalla trip, right? The move to Valhalla, where everything, you know, where these price targets actually may be realized, right? That's just how I would view it personally. ZBCN right now is sitting under 202, just a little bit under $198 million in market cap, holding up pretty well here. Like I said, if we do have that next leg down in the market like people are predicting, I've been saying this in previous videos, I'm not just straight up moon boy on the channel. $2 ZBCN, $3 ZBCN. I'm very realistic with my trading strategies. I'm not trying to lead my subscribers into the slaughterhouse, right? Because a lot of, you know, content creators do that. I'm not trying to lead my subscribers into the slaughterhouse. I'm not trying to get you to sign up for anything. I'm not trying to be a snake oil salesman here, right? So like I said, if we do have that next leg down in the market where Bitcoin goes to 45k, 40k, 50k, you could see 2001 ZBCN in the future. Be prepared for that, right? That's going to be a great time to DCA, in my opinion. And then whenever we bottom, we consolidate, next bull run is ready to begin. Whenever that takes place, you got some you have a nice bag of ZBCN accumulated. I would think, right, obviously it's not guaranteed, but I would think it's one of the altcoins that does go up for the next bull run and the next alt season, right? Similar to what XRP, XLM, and XDC did, right? Some of the only coins that came out for years, or for the previous 2020 to 2021 cycle, that actually went up again this cycle, right? If you take a look at, for example, Polkadot, right, Sonic, Atom, right, these projects did not go up this cycle, right? Everyone was waiting for alt season. They did not perform at all. If anything, they made new lows. Each one of them. Polkadot made new low. Sonic made a new low. Previously Phantom. Atom made a new low. So it's a very tough space to be in. Crypto space is very difficult, right? And most people that make money in this space, or you see that are flexing their luxurious cars, or their fancy mansions, etc., they didn't make that money from trading. I'm telling you, they didn't make it from trading coins, right? They made it from courses and all these other types of things, right? So just be wary out there. As always, keeping an eye on things for you guys, keeping you guys updated. Again, we'll just keep monitoring things here. But like I said, I do think ZBCN will be one of the altcoins that does well whenever the next bull run or alt season begins, in my opinion. I could be wrong. Nothing is guaranteed. But that is what I think. That is my thesis. So none of this is financial advice. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, guys. Join my Discord, follow me on X, and also subscribe to my Clips channel as well. I really appreciate all the support. You guys are the best. Really would appreciate a follow on X. I really would. Thank y'all, and I'll catch you in the next video.